All right, you guys ready? The big reveal. What is going on, guys? It's Jamie. Welcome to the channel Thrift on Fire. Today's going to be a different type of video. I'm actually going to be redoing some furniture. So this is my personal coffee table. It is a hardwood table. It's a pretty heavy unit. I've got two end tables just like that. We're going to be stripping them down with just a palm sander. I'm getting them all cleaned up. We're going to do like a farm style kind of finish. We're going to do white on the bottom, something natural on the top. If the top turns out very nice, if this all cleans up nice, we're gonna try to just do like a clear finish. If it doesn't look as nice as we're hoping, we might do something just a little bit darker, a little bit deeper color, just to hide some of the imperfections. But let's get it cleaned up and see how it goes. All right, so we're just getting everything ready to go here. I just wanted to show you guys. So I'm just using a regular 5-inch orbital sander. This is just a Mastercraft. I've got some assorted sandpaper. After we get everything finished or stripped down, we're going to be using some of this chalk paint, ultra matte, linen white. And you know, we're going to use some brushes. Obviously the plan is white, and then depending on what the finish looks like, this will be clear or potentially stained. So I haven't got the stain yet. Here's another little side table. The only other thing, we need to remove the hardware. So this particular is just, I think there's a screw here in the back and it just comes apart. So we're going to remove that and then get started. So we're just going to start out with this 120 grits and see if it's good enough to start taking it off. Yeah, that seems to be a pretty good start. A little update, it is coming off pretty nicely. It is actually staying pretty smooth. You can see it's just eating away the finish and leaving the wood grain. So that's the look we're looking for. This is to get it back to the natural color, and then obviously we're gonna have to work away at the sides as well. Okay, so we have the top off. It's completely removed. I'm gonna go back over with probably an 80 grit before it is painted. But next, let's just flip it up. And now we can start working on the sides. Now with these, I don't think we have to get them nearly as perfect because the top is going to be stained or varnished. The sides are going to be white, so we're basically just trying to remove the finish. Okay, sticking with the, I think it was what are we at? Yeah, 120. I don't know what I said before, but it's a 120 grit we're using. Okay, so I've removed the drawer. Looks okay to the tops in the back. I'm starting to think we might do this a natural color as well. So we'll be hitting that one more time with the 80 grit, but we'll be leaving just the inside the way it is. And now let's work on the rest of this, the side here. Now one of the things that's happened here is when I was trying to get into the edges of the drawer, it started to chew the sandpaper. So this is still the first piece of sandpaper. So that's good. I'm going to do as much as I can, and then it might be time to just switch out the paper. So what I've decided to do is just take the old paper and try to work it by hand. Like I said, this part of the table is going to be white, so really I just have to take off the finish of the stain so that it will stick. So we just have one more side. This one, not too bad. Definitely still hard to get in the corners, but very happy with that. Okay, so last time this side was a little harder just because it's higher. All right, so got the final side done here. Looks pretty good. So now I'm just gonna move everything back into the shade here. Okay, so now I've got these moved over here in the shade. I'm just going to repeat the process we did with this one. I don't feel like I need to show you the whole breakdown, but essentially I'm just going to do the tops first, do all the sides, and then we'll get it all prepped for paint. I might go back over the top with an 80. We'll see how they look when they're all done, but so far I'm pretty happy with how it's going. All right, so I just wanted to correct myself. I will edit in the video the right numbers, but I've been using this 120, and I think I keep saying that I'm going to finish with a 90. I'm actually going to finish with a 220. So for whatever reason, brain malfunction, I guess, the numbers go up for the, like, it's less grit. So that's how I'm going to finish it, with a 220. So I'll be going back over like this first table we did with a 220, just to get everything all nice and smooth and get rid of all the little imperfections. All right, I'm exhausted. I started this about 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's currently about 1:30. So I've got these stripped down pretty good. So you can see I've just took the finish off everything. We used the heavier paper, so I actually went to, we're also running out of shade. So I actually went to the heavier paper on the end table, so I decided to use the 80s just to use up some of them, and it worked out pretty good. This stuff's all going to be white anyway, so I wasn't super worried about it. Next step, I'm just going to tighten up the legs. There's some bolts under there. I noticed they were a little bit loose. Then after that, I'm just going to look over these, see if I want to do them one more time with a higher grit, like the 240 or 220 or whatever I have. And yeah, and then we'll catch up tomorrow, and we'll be starting the painting process. All right, so day 2, I decided to start early. I just have a sheet drop down so I can get everything all clean and prepped and ready for paint. What I'm going to be using today, I got a little dish of water, some paper towels over there, a rag, some tape, the paint, some brushes, of course some gloves, and yeah, so let's start cleaning these up. So we're just basically going to try to get all of the dust and dirt off of them and get them nice and clean for painting. Okay, so we have them all cleaned up. Now we're going to go ahead and just tape around the top edge, because we're really just painting the bottom half here white and leaving the top. We're going to paint around the edge so that we don't get any paint on the sides, because that's also going to be our clear coat or varnish or whatever we decide after. Yeah, so let's start taping. Okay, so let's start with this table. We're just going to flip it back over. So we've just cleaned this one completely. We're just going to take our masking tape here, or green painter tape, find an edge, and this is the edge we're trying to cover up. Just line up one side, line up with the other side, then we're going to cut it. Now we're just going to verify that it's going along the seam. It seems to be pretty good. So we're just trying to keep the paint off the side. Now we can always touch it back up with the sandpaper after, so that's pretty nice, but this is just to try to minimize the mess. So let's continue to do that with the other 4 corners, or 3 corners. Happy with that. So now the last step would be, before I paint it, I'm going to flip it back over and then wipe it back down with just the dry rag to make sure there's no particles, and then we'll be ready to paint. As you can see, we flipped these back over, and I finished taping the sides. So now we're going to paint the legs white, this piece underneath white, the front and the sides are going to be white, and the this part of the top is also going to be white. So we need to open the can, stir it up, and then we'll be ready to paint. We're going to give this a bit of a stir. We're going to give the front a little bit of a wipe down here. Just a dry rag, and that's just to ensure that there's no more dust. All right, so I do have 2 different brushes. I have a little 12 millimeter and a 1.5. I don't think I want anything bigger than that. Let's see if we can put a little bit of paint on here. Okay, so I just have 1 coat here on the front. I'll continue to paint, and then I'll catch up with you guys and show you the first coat as I finish it.
2,000 years later.
All right, so I got the first coat on the big coffee table, and it looks okay. I don't know how it comes through on camera, but it's a little streaky. Definitely gonna want a second coat. And then these 2 I still have to do. So yeah, I'm gonna finish the 2 little end tables, let it dry, and then I'll do coat number 2. Okay, so everything's got 1 coat. We're about to start the second coat. It's nice and dry. Okay, so just finished the second coat just on the big coffee table. It's looking pretty good. You have to finish up the end tables, but you can see this is what it did look like, kind of streaky. And the second coat really did fill everything nicely. So let me get that finished. We can let it dry, flip them over, and then we can work on the top. All right, I got them flipped over here. They're looking pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna have to do too much more to the white. So we're gonna likely leave it like that. You could clear coat the white, but we're unsure because we might go back in after everything is all done with sandpaper and just scuff it up to give it sort of a beat up look. But for this video, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna leave it straight white. So we're gonna pull off some of the tape here and see how I did. As you can see here, it's pretty clean. There's a little spots of white paint, but I'm gonna go through and knock that all off with a little bit of a sandpaper and see how it goes from there. Okay, so the final step, I have a little bit of sandpaper here. I believe there's some tape right where I'm working. Let's get the tape first. Okay, so there's a little bit of white. We're just gonna sand it off. Go along the edges. Just like so. Very nice. So I'm just going to continue to go around all the tables just like that so that I get a nice edge just like this one, and then we'll be able to finish the top with our clear coat. Okay, so I've just gone ahead and wiped off the top of all the tables and the sides, and I do have them all cleaned up. Now I'm just going to be using some of this clear. It's just a wood primer sealant. It's the same thing I put on these outdoor chairs. So I'm trying to keep this as natural to the wood as possible, but protect it against water. So like somebody's, drink sitting on top, something like that. That's pretty much all we're trying to do. So this is actually meant for outside and outdoor base, but I'm going to use it on the top here anyway. And I do think it should work out just fine. Okay, so we're just going to be opening this up, giving it a quick stir. This is it's very clear, as you can see. It's not going to add a lot of color or anything like that. I'm just going to be brushing it on. Very important, as I'm getting dirt on here, very important that we keep this as clean as possible when we're putting the top layer on. And this stuff tends to dry pretty quick as well. Okay, so we have one coat done. I did do the drawers as well. Just did them over here. So we're gonna wait about 20 minutes and then we'll do a second coat. Okay, so now the final step, we're just gonna let it dry, and then we're gonna put the hardware back in the drawers, we'll slide it all together, and then we'll take a final look. All right, you guys ready? The big reveal. Turned out pretty good. Very nice white. You could clear coat this. Chalk does sell like a clear coat purposely for that, but we decided just to keep it natural. Like I said, we might scuff it up, or we might do like an antique look with it still, but I do like it, and we're gonna use it the way it is for now. Turned out really smooth. Happy. Can't really see the brush strokes too much. It looks very natural. No, I don't normally do restore videos or do it yourself or video stuff like this, but I thought I was doing it, and why not share it with everybody? I think it did turn out really well. Normally I'm doing thrift haul videos, what's sold videos, but every once in a while I like to do something different. But anyway, guys, if you like videos like this, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel for more content. Till next time, guys, take care, stay safe, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.